Hola mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is Taffrey16 and welcome to my review of Hell in a Cell 2018. This is actually a pretty good show with a really weird ending, kind of like SummerSlam, except somehow a worse ending. So let's just get into it. So the pre-show had one match. It was Rusev Day versus the New Day. They got some time, like 10 minutes maybe. I don't think anyone really expected Rusev Day to go over because if the New Day is gonna drop the belt, it's gonna be the heels, probably Sheamus and Cesaro, not fellow babyfaces in Rusev Day. New Day ended up winning when Rusev and Aiden had some miscommunication. I think Aiden had the accolade in, actually, on Kofi, and then Rusev got dumped out of the ring. Oh yeah, and then Kofi hit Trouble in Paradise on Aiden, and Rusev tried to break up the pin, but Big E held him out of the ring, and New Day retained. It was actually a really good match, which doesn't surprise me at all, because, I mean, usually anything with the New Day in it, wrestling-wise, is good. Aiden and Rusev are actually very good in their own right. Aiden actually stood out a lot in this match. He did some stuff like over the top rope dive, which I don't know if I've ever seen him do before. And yeah, he had some good moments. And they did a lot for 10 minutes. It really felt like a really good match for 10 minutes. So yeah, good start, good pre-show. And now we get into our most Jesus Christ match of the night to start the main show. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Jesus Christ. Like, this was terrifying. This was a goddamn terrifying match. This was, aside from the Brock Taker match at Hell in a Cell in 2015, probably the most non-PG Hell in a Cell of the PG era. Probably the most non-PG Hell in a Cell of the PG era. Like, for anyone out there who complains about, like, oh, Hell in a Cells are more PG now and are watered down, two Hell in a Cells in the PG era I'd recommend you watch. Brock Taker in 2015, and that one, Hardy Orton. It was goddamn brutal. It was arguably the most unique Hell in a Cell match of all time, because it was kind of like TLC in a cell. That's basically what it was. It was so incredible because it felt like a TLC match, but it still managed to feel like a Hell in a Cell match at the same time. And there's so many brutal spots. Most brutal being when Randy got a screwdriver. And you know how he did the thing a couple months ago where he put his finger through Jeff's earlobe. Instead, he got a screwdriver, put the screwdriver through Jeff's earlobe, and started just twisting it around. Like, oh my god, I could barely watch that. My sister laughed. Like, she got up and, like, tell me when it's over. Like, oh my god, that was fucking brutal. And then, of course, Jeff had a brilliant spot where he managed to do something that he had promised, and that's do a spot nobody ever seen before without killing himself at the same time. He didn't swanton off top of the cell. What he did is he put Randy on a table and he set up a ladder in the ring. He set it up like it was going to be that spot. You ever seen the match with him and Matt Hardy, the I Quit match in 2009, where Matt quits because he's tied to the table, and then Jeff is on one ladder, and he, like, pole vaults over the other ladder and leg drops Matt for the table? That's the spot he looked like he was set up for, but he didn't have enough room. So what he gets on top of the bigger ladder instead, the ladder he's supposed to vault over, and then he starts hanging on the top of the cell, and then he starts swinging off the top of the cell back and forth, and then at the last minute, Randy moves, and Jeff falls and goes right for the table. And then the ref, like, is calling for the cell to be raised, and they're raising it, and the ref's trying to wave the match off, but Randy's like, no, fuck you. Fucking count the pin. And he counts the pin. Randy wins, as he should have. Jeff gets taken off in a stretcher. Like, my god, I don't know if Jeff was bleeding, but Randy had a cut on his back and a huge gash on his leg. Like, they actually had to remove a chunk of skin from his leg. He posted a picture on Instagram. That might have been, again, you could make an argument for Brock Taker because of how much Brock bled in that one. But that might have been the most non-PG Hell in a Cell of the PG era. It was absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a match of the year candidate. And wow, it's not a match anybody's going to forget anytime soon. That's for sure. Now we get to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defending against Becky Lynch. This was a pretty good match, which is not really a surprise considering they're two of the best women's wrestlers in the world and they've wrestled each other so many times. They have great chemistry. But not anybody's going to remember the match. I'm not saying it was a bad match. They went 14 minutes. It was pretty good. What they're going to remember is they actually did the right thing and they actually put Becky over. to the surprise of a lot of people, they actually did it. They did it. They actually put Becky over. Becky is a new champion. After the match, though, I think the finish was what was it? Oh yeah. Charlotte, I think, went for the figure eight, or might have gone for natural selection, and one of the other way, Becky caught her and disarmed her, and Charlotte tried to roll out, but then Becky rolled her into a pin and got the 1-2-3. After the match, they had a perfect opportunity to do a double turn, and they didn't do it. But at the same time, it did make Becky still look badass, because Charlotte wanted to raise her hand, and then Becky just raised the title in her face and said, "You're not taking my moment again," which makes a ton of sense, and then Becky left. To big ovation from the crowd. Becky was the true babyface of that match. Charlotte got booed to hell. But yep, good match, but I'm just so happy that they finally pulled the trigger on Becky. Hopefully she doesn't lose it back in Australia in 3 weeks. I have a feeling she's going to, but hopefully she just gets a good run with it, because, I mean, that's what the fans want, and that's what she deserves. Up next, it is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It is Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler defending against The Shield, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Wrestling-wise, this was probably the best match of the night. They got a lot of time. They got, like, 22 minutes. I think Jeff and Orton got, like, 25 minutes. But yeah, they got, like, this match got a lot of time. I mean, what can I say? All four of these men are just fantastic wrestlers. They all have great chemistry with and against one another. It was just incredible back and forth. You thought anybody could win at any time, whether it's Rollins kicking out of the zigzag or just, Jesus, any of it, man. I mean, the finish was brilliant too, because Rollins, like, reversed, I think, a super kick or something into the Falcon Arrow, and he had, like, no, next you know, it was like that top rope suplex thing he does. He does top rope suplex, and then he picks him back up for the Falcon Arrow. When he tried to pick him back up for the Falcon Arrow, as he had him in the air, McIntyre ran in the ring and hit him with the Claymore, and then Ziggler got the pin, and Ziggler and McIntyre actually retained. Haley got that one right, I got that one wrong. I thought Ambrose and Rollins would get the belt. Hopefully they'll do something about the IC title now, because again, the IC title was not defended tonight. The US champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, was not even booked. So Nakamura wasn't even booked, and Rollins didn't defend his belt. So hopefully, honestly, if they're just going the Shield way, and they just want Rollins and Ambrose to be a tag team, just have Rollins drop the belt to somebody. I don't care whom. Someone who deserves it, like Lashley or Finn or something. Owens even. Like, just have Rollins drop the belt to somebody, because there's really no use in him having it right now, if this is what they're doing with, reforming the Shield and all that. But it was an incredible match. Again, pure wrestling-wise, probably the best match of the night. I'm not too bothered by the result, because, again, I have a feeling the Shield are going to get probably the tag belts at some point anyway, and Ziggler and McIntyre also deserve to hang on to it. But yeah, this did the tag team division proud, that's for sure. Immediately following is arguably the second pure best wrestling match of the night. AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship. What the fuck did I just say? The WWE Championship. There we go. Against Samoa Joe. They got about 19 minutes for this one, not as long as the tag team. Unfortunately, the crowd was a little out of it, because, my god, that first hour, Becky winning the belt, the Hardy Orton LNSL, and then that tag match, the crowd was shot at that point. So unfortunately, this was kind of a cool-down match to set up for the second part, which is why they should have done the mixed tag match at this point. But of course, you have the wasted WWE title match, which is a fantastic match on a cooldown match. I don't know if I should be surprised or not that both Joe and AJ matches were better than all of the AJ Nakamura matches, because I guess now that I think about it, AJ and Nakamura really only did face off once before at that Wrestle Kingdom, to my knowledge, while AJ and Joe have wrestled millions of times, whether it be TNA or Ring of Honor or whatever. So I guess it shouldn't really surprise me that their matches have been so much better, just because they know each other's movesets perfectly. The finish, this was the controversy here. This was the screwy. They did a screwy finish, reminiscent of the Styles Nakamura feud. Has there been an AJ Styles match this year without a screwy finish? Like, seems like every single title defense he has a screwy finish. Like, this is why he's kind of gotten a kind of a screwy Punk run. Like, he's gonna get a long title reign, probably beat Punk's title reign, but kind of like Punk, he doesn't get in the main event of any damn pay-per-views, even though he's the champion. All his matches have screwy finishes. It's even worse for AJ, because AJ's not even a heel, while Punk was a heel for the second half of his title run. And yeah, I mean, again, never screwy finish. So Joe had the Coquina clutch in, looked like it was it. AJ rolled him on his back, and Joe didn't let go, and AJ got the pin. Joe then looked like he thought he won, but they announced AJ as a winner, and Joe was pissed, and everyone's kind of confused because, like, why are you pissed? You just got pinned, you didn't kick out when you could have easily kicked out. But turns out they showed a replay, an alternate replay on the other side of the other angle, the reverse camera angle that people didn't see, and turns out AJ actually tapped in between the ref's hand hitting 2 and 3 when his hand was like up to hit 3, probably around here. AJ tapped. So Joe technically won. And they did a backstage segment later where Paige was like, the referee's decision is final, we can't reverse it. And it's like, bitch, Joe won. But she said Joe will get his rematch in Australia in 3 weeks, and Joe said that it needs to be no DQ or something, and she agreed. Is this going to end the exact same way the Nakamura feud ended, with AJ just finally beating him at the end? But I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. Because, I mean, someone made a good point to me in the comments of the prediction video, like, if Joe wins the belt, what faces does he have the feud with? You know? I mean, AJ could do Randy and then Miz. So, I guess Joe could feud with Bryan, but maybe Rusev. Or they call up Black or something, I don't know. I don't even know how long Black is out, but I don't know, man. It was a great match. Screwy finish. I normally wouldn't have a problem with this finish. Just we've seen this shit already with the Styles Nakamura thing. We've seen this shit already. So we've seen so much with AJ. So I mean, just give the man a clean win for God's sake. Or either that or have him drop the belt. One or the other. Up next, mixed tag action. The Miz and Maurice versus Brie and Bryan. This match was not good, but did anybody really think it was going to be good? I mean, the Bryan-Miz parts were good, but they usually are. It was just kind of what everyone really expected. Maurice and Brie weren't tagged in most of the match until they finally got a hot tag, and the finish was really screwy with, I think, Maurice trying to get a roll-up, and her and Brie both botched it until Maurice finally got the roll-up, and Miz and Maurice won. As predicted, Maurice beat Brie. It was just like, I don't know, man. It's not a match that should have happened in the first place. It's just filler, and it didn't really matter. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. It was just, there's a reason why they don't use Maurice and Brie as wrestlers anymore, because they're not good wrestlers, you know? So, yeah, I mean, definitely worst match of the night, but I guess the right people won. I don't know. Up next, Ronda Rousey defends the Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. This match, in terms of wrestling, was kind of, but it was alright. I mean, they gave it a lot more time. They gave it 4 times more time than their SummerSlam match. SummerSlam match was 4 minutes. This was like 12 minutes. So wait a minute. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, 3 times more. I'm good at math. 3 times more time than their SummerSlam match. What was really impressive in this was Ronda's selling. They did work with a rib injury in this, and Alexa actually controlled a good portion of the match, and Ronda sold the fuck out of that rib injury. She was really good. She really good selling. She definitely gets better every time we see her. I have a feeling if you put her in a ring with someone, with all due respect to Alexa, she's an okay wrestler, but she's not like top tier. If they put Ronda in a ring with someone like Charlotte or Sasha or Ember or Asuka or whatever, I think they could have just an incredible match. I'd really like to see this, but not a surprise. Ronda retains. What does she do now? God, I hope it's not Nikki Bella, because that's going to be a goddamn slap in the face to the rest of the women's division if they actually give Nikki Bella a title shot. God, I hope it's not that. I have a feeling it is, but I hope not. And finally, the main event, Braun Strowman cashes in his Money in the Bank against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Inside Hell in a Cell, Mick Foley was a special guest referee. This was a good match. They had some good back and forth. It was nothing special. I mean, there were some stare spots and everything. Just stuff we've seen from them before. Nothing completely special. I was just kind of waiting for them to go for the cell, you know, honestly. I mean, there was a big botch where, like, a couple minutes into the match, Foley accidentally counted 3. I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know if Mick counted too fast or if Roman didn't kick out fast enough, but he counted 3, and the crowd noticed it. And it was yikes. It was the big yikes. The big dog with the big yikes. And then finally, eventually, AJ Ambrose, or excuse me, first it was McIntyre and Ziggler tried to get into the cell, and Ambrose and Rollins came out, and they ended up fighting onto the top of the cell. Because I think Ziggler was trying to avoid Rollins. Rollins chased him, and then McIntyre chased Rollins, and then Ambrose chased McIntyre, and they all ended up laying each other out until Ziggler tried to get off the cell, and Rollins followed him down, and they did a repeat of the Rollins-Ambrose spot from their Hell in a Cell in 2014, where they both simultaneously fell off the side of the cell through tables. Yay for reuse spots. I don't know. But, and then, after that happened, the shock of the night, Brock fucking Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's music hit. He came to ring looking in really good shape. He looks like he's gotten himself in really good shape. Definitely prepping for that UFC match, and had a nice looking beard. And he comes down. Heyman's trying to get the ref to give him the key. Brock just says fuck this and kicks the door off the cell. Gets in a ring, starts beating the crap out of both Roman and Strowman with pieces of table. Literally just keeps snapping pieces off that table till there's no table left. Meanwhile, Heyman pepper sprayed, used that same pepper spray stuff he used on Roman before Mania, or before SummerSlam, and pepper sprayed Foley in the face. So Foley was out. After Brock laid them both out, he just left, and then they just waved the match off. They just waved it off. They're like, okay, no contest. How are you going to have a no contest in a Hell in a Cell? It's a goddamn Hell in a Cell match. Haley called it, to her credit, but it's a goddamn Hell in a Cell match. How can you have a no contest? That doesn't make any fucking sense. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. I don't have a problem with Brock coming in. I had no problem with Brock's attack because it made sense. I don't have a problem with Brock in general. The only problem I have with Brock is when he's champion. That's the only time I have a problem with Brock. If Brock's just around doing stuff, random feuds, great. I like Brock, but him being champion, nah. Apparently after the show was over, the crowd was chanting, "This is bullshit." Probably we want refunds too. That's just a guess. I wouldn't have a problem with Lesnar's attack if they had just finished the match. So, also, did Strowman lose the Money in the Bank? Because he cashed it in and it was a no contest, so I'm guessing he lost it, unless tomorrow Corbin is just like, hey, we're giving you the belt back, or giving you the contract back, because there's technically wasn't a finish to the match. And if not, then fuck it. 2 years in a row, men's Money in the Bank match our contract was ruined. I'm guessing this will lead to a triple threat match at the Australian Super Show, or at Survivor Series, whatever. I don't know when Brock's next date is. I didn't expect Brock back till the Rumble. I thought he was going to have like his UFC fight in early, maybe January or whatever, and be back by the Rumble, or right after the Rumble. Like the February pay-per-view, whatever that is. The Chamber, or Fastlane, something, I don't remember. But yeah, I did not see that coming at all. Lesnar's, I avoided internet spoilers. Apparently it was spoiled earlier in the day, but I had avoided it. So I was completely shocked. But yeah, you can't have a no contest in Hell in a Cell. And it's a shame because this was a great pay-per-view. It was a great pay-per-view. Basically, it was a B-plus pay-per-view that could have been an A-plus pay-per-view, if not to double screwy finishes in both world title matches. If both the world title matches hadn't had screwy finishes, this could have been an A-plus pay-per-view. But, it's just, they spoiled it. It's disappointing. But it's the WWE, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But that's going to do it for my review of Hell in a Cell. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'd say a B-plus show. Pretty great show, aside from those world title matches finishes. But yeah, you can't have a no contest in Hell in a Cell. You can't do it. They tried to do it in the first match, but Randy still got the pin. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this folds out on Raw tonight. I'm probably going to be streaming with Raw's live, so I probably won't watch it, but I'll probably see the highlights after. But yeah, that's going to do it for this. I'll see you guys back in a couple of weeks for the predictions for the Australian Super Showdown. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, you can be sure to press the like button. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Not everybody's like everything. You press the dislike button if you want to, but if you don't think I'm the bastard wants to stick around for what we got going in the future on the channel, be sure to press the subscribe button. If you want to see what's getting posted daily on the channel, check the link in the description for the blog on WordPress.com. If you want to check out my Twitch where I stream wrestling day, the link that is also in the description, as well as links to my Twitter and my Patreon. If you want to support my happy instead, my name is Taff16. This has been my review of Hell in a Cell 2018. See you guys next time.